everybody this morning. It is a chilly morning here in central Missouri, and I hope today we have a good show, free of any problems. The internet here has been wanting to act up lately, so I really hope that we have a good show today. I will give people a few minutes to get on here, but anyway, I hope everybody's week went great since the last time I was here. Hello, Imre. Nice to see ya. I'll give everybody about 5 minutes or so to get on here before we start on anything. Is there anything interesting going on with you guys here lately? Yes, Imre, it is doing well here, but we've had a little hiccup this week that I'm going to be talking about here in just a few minutes. So we'll get into that. Hello, Sherry. How are you today? Thanks for stopping on in. We're going to give everybody about 5 minutes. I've got peas I've got to pick today, so I'm going to be doing that after I'm done here. The peas are doing rather well this year in the garden. So anyway, the picture you guys are seeing right now is one that I took earlier on this summer, and it's actually the backdrop of my channel. I think that it is, but that's the whole picture right there that you guys see. You don't get to see the whole thing, so I figured I'd show it to you, kind of as a nice opening picture to look at. All right. Couple more minutes, guys. Are you hearing and seeing me okay? Hopefully it's not buffering too bad. All right, I'll take this picture down here. Hello, Tina. Nice to see you. I'm glad you could stop by today. All right. Hopefully it's not buffering too bad for you guys. All right, you should be able to see me now. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay, please. I have instructed the kids, they are home today, so I have instructed them to not get on the internet while I am in here. So hopefully they listen. I really hope they do. But it says my streaming health is okay right now, so we'll see, I guess. All right, awesome. One more minute here, and then we will go ahead and start. Anybody have anything interesting this week happen? It's a little dark. Well, I've got all the lights on and the window is open here. That's about all I can do as far as lighting. Sorry. Okay. Let's see, maybe I can move this out of the way. Give it a little bit more lighting in here. My husband stacked a few things on top of the desk here, but we have a taller. It's a roll top desk. I got one of those roll top desks, and it's a little taller, so it does cast a shadow on me. So anyway, okay, so it is now 5 after, and I'm going to go ahead and start. Today I really wanted to have kind of a certain topic, but it's going to be kind of a random topics today, because I I did run into a snag this weekend, and it just, I didn't get all of everything that I wanted to cover. I didn't get it done as well as I would like, so I'll just cover that topic next week. But so I'm just going to kind of randomly talk about different things today that wouldn't really require an entire hour to talk about. So anyway, hello Dutch, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so the hiccup that we've had this week, as you know, our cows are getting ready to start calving, and we had a cow prolapse, and it was Miss Louise, and it was a vaginal prolapse, and I will show you pictures of that here in just a minute. And she also had a rectal prolapse as well. Yeah, we've been dealing with that. We had the vet come out. She sewed her up and got her to where she's not going to prolapse. But I have been on cow watch. She's not ready to calve just yet, but she has lost her mucus plug, so it can be any day, and she is bagged up. So every 2 hours, day and night, until she has her calf, I'm going to be married to this cow. I have to be able to cut that string and make sure that she can have her calf safely, because with her sewed up, she cannot have her calf. So I have to make sure that I am here and I am available for her at least every 2 hours if she goes into labor. So I have to keep a very close eye on her. Hello, mother of many horses. Thanks for stopping in today. So anyway, I have been doing that. I am extremely tired. It's almost like having a newborn baby. Haven't had one of those in a while. And getting up in the middle of the night and having to go outside in the cold. It's been in the 40s here at night. Not so much fun. So anyway, so that's what I'm dealing with right now. That's been the hiccup of the week as far as that goes. And I will get more into that. I did want to talk about that a little bit today. So I will get more into that. And then I will pre-warn you that some of the pictures that I'm going to show today are of prolapse, and if you have a squeamish stomach, you may want to just turn away. But I'll warn you right before I put the picture up, so that way you don't have to turn everything off. So today I put jalapeno in with the does. The Astrid and Gita were not too pleased that I did that. But Miss Freya, the little goat you guys helped me name, Miss Freya, she was in heat. And I did witness her getting bred today, so that was kind of nice. So I can go ahead and write that down on the calendar and know exactly when she's going to have her kiddo. Yes, mother of many horses, I pray that she delivers sooner than later. It gets very daunting having to get up. And my husband works outside of the homestead, so I don't have him get up in the middle of the night. He needs to sleep. So she did lose her mucus plug, so hopefully she has her calf soon. The vet actually did examine her. The calf is still alive. The calf is in the correct position to be born, so it can be born at any time. Hoping it gets done soon. So anyway, yes, Mr. Jalapeno was very happy to go down to his ladies, and even though I have washed my hands and everything, and I took off the clothes that I was wearing, I can still smell the billy goat smell. It is the most rancid, horrid smell in the universe. Hate that smell. It's horrible. So I can still smell it even though I've washed. I don't know if it's just me or whatnot. I'm always afraid that I'm going to smell like billy goat to anybody that doesn't have farm animals, and they're going to be like, ooh, does she ever shower? But anyway, I try to make sure I handle any billy goats or anything like that on days that I plan to stay around here and I can take several showers afterwards. So anyway, so got that done. And based on the gestation time of goats, they should be having their kids somewhere, let's see, I have that written down. They can start having, if they get bred today, which Miss Freya got bred today, she should have on April 6th. So that's usually a good time of the year around here to be having, to be kidding. So another bit of news around here. We did have an accident happen, and unfortunately, Mia was killed. As you guys know, we've had the skid loader here, and she wasn't paying attention, and Brian cannot see outside of the skid loader, and he accidentally ran over her. It was really kind of one of those deals where she didn't suffer or anything, but it was kind of instantaneous. She didn't survive it at all. So it's kind of a blow around here. So it was really sad. The kids were really sad about it. And yeah, so that was not fun, but unfortunately things like that happen. And usually she's really good about staying out of the way of machinery. I don't know what caused her to run up behind the skid loader, but she did. So our guineas that we got, they are all doing really well. Hello, Rain. How are you? Thanks for stopping on in. Our guineas are all doing really well. They're growing. I might start letting them out here before too long. Let's see. Our egg production from our chickens has dropped dramatically due to the shorter days, and it will. If you have chickens, you will notice this time of year they stop laying as much, and that's okay with me. I do not put an artificial light on my chickens, but by all means you can if you want to keep up your egg production, because chickens do lay by the day length. So if you want to continue good egg production, you need to put a light on in their house. So as I mentioned earlier, I am going to be harvesting peas today out of the garden. They are doing really well. They have grown exceptionally well. I've been very pleased with these peas. And I cannot remember the variety at the moment, but I'll try to look that up. But I've been very pleased with them. So I'm going to be harvesting peas today. The pigs are getting close to farrowing. I have some pictures of them. They got some treats this morning, some old pumpkins, and I just threw them over the fence. They were still good to eat, but they were, you know, past their prime and all that good stuff. So, hello, T. Teresa. How are you? Thanks for stopping in. Oh, thank you, Rain. I appreciate anybody that can make time to stop in, and thanks for the condolences. Yes, Miss Mia will be very missed. We all loved her a lot. So, hello, Wee Tree Bonsai. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so yeah, the pigs are getting close to farrowing, and I completely forgot again to put a picture on here of the new farrowing house we put together. But actually, it's more of a hut than a house. But I will try and get that done. I don't think I've shown you that, guys, but we now have 2 of them, and it's kind of up in the air whether one of our sows got bred. If she didn't, this will be her 2nd time exposed to a boar and not getting bred, so she will be going to freezer camp if she does not have piglets. We can't afford to keep a pig around that's not gonna or any animal that's not going to produce something for us. So she better produce some pigs this time around, or she will be turned into burger, sausage, and bacon. And she's a pretty good sized girl. She's about 600 pounds, so that'd be a lot of meat and stuff. So let's see. Well, I already talked about that. And for those of you that joined us late, Sherry, Mia was our livestock guardian dog, our female livestock guardian dog. And I had been kind of toying with the idea of keeping a pup, one of the pups from the last litter. And in hindsight, I wish I had. So, but anyway, so yeah. All right, so it's time for pictures. That's kind of what's been going on around here. Other than those two things, it's been going pretty smooth. So, anyway, let's get over here to pictures. All right, so here is Mr. Jalapeno. I just put him in with his ladies, and he is loving it. He's having a good time. That is the one closest to him. That is Miss Gita, and then Freya is the one that's farther away from him. Freya is the one that got bred today. I seen her get bred. So anyway, there is. He's happy. He's really happy. He gets to spend some time with his ladies. He's been admiring them from afar for quite a while. So, Mr. Jalapeno. And there's Miss Gita. I just want to kind of show you. She's the one that got her horn ripped off. And as you can see, her horns are gonna grow back, but they are gonna be extremely funky looking. So she's just gonna be my weird horned goat. That's okay. I love her anyway. So anyway, there she is. And here is a picture of one of the pigs enjoying the pumpkins that I threw over to them. They really enjoyed that this morning. This is actually a picture of the one that if she doesn't have little pigs, she's going to be in freezer camp soon. So anyway, there we go. Yeah, the face. She has a cute face, doesn't she, Rain? Miss Gita does. Oh, and one other thing. The random jalapeno picture that I'm showing you here, that is Ziva. I picked jalapenos because our jalapeno bushes are going nutso. Still, even though it's in November and they're still outside, we haven't had a frost yet, so that's why we still have jalapenos. But I picked some jalapenos the other day, and Ziva thought it would be wise to get one off of the table and crunch into it. Well, Ziva learned that jalapenos are not very good to bite into. Hello, Grizz. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of reading a few of the comments here. Looks like you guys are just talking amongst yourself. So, anyway, yeah, Ziva decided that jalapenos were not for her. I think she drank a gallon of water. That poor dog, she was panting and everything. So, anyway, I don't think she will be biting into any jalapenos anytime soon. All right, this next picture we have here, this is Miss Beulah. And she is so pregnant, she looks miserable. The poor darling. Oh, that's okay, Mother of Many Horses. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you coming by. Yep, you'll have to catch the rest later. Oh, you went to California, Grizz? Oh. Yeah, I have to agree. California sucks, Grizz. I had to live out there for 4 years because my husband was stationed in Camp Pendleton out there. The weather was nice, but that's about it. The people out there are not like the people here. It's just, I don't know, I guess people here are a little bit more friendly, but and there's way too many people for me. Tina, I have 6 cows, 2 heifers, and 1 steer that we're going to be eating. So that's how many I have right now. Yeah, and the traffic too, Grizz, is horrible on the 5 highway. You could be driving along just fine, and then you're at a dead stop. So, anyway. Okay, so this is Miss Beulah, and as you can see, she is a wide load right now. This poor cow, she's so pregnant, and she's so over it. When she lays down, she just grunts. I'm like, you poor thing. Hopefully you have your calf soon, because you're going to explode if you don't. So, there she is. And Miss Gertrude, which I have a picture of her next. Miss Gertrude, she's even wider, the poor dear. She is the one that had twins last year. I'm not so sure. She's not pregnant with twins this year, so I don't know. We'll see. She's one of those cows that gets huge, so we'll see. First 2 she had singles, and this next time she had twins. So we'll see. Anyway, so there is Miss Gertrude. She's lost her ear tag. When we work cows next spring, give them their vaccinations and things, I'll give her a new tag. So there's Miss Gertrude. All right, so now, okay, so for the book of the week, this doesn't really have anything to do with the topic that I'm talking about, but I have been doing a lot of this here lately, which is seed saving. And I have been doing that with, whatever's left out in the garden. And I do that kind of along the way, but I do have this book. It is Seed to Seed, and by Suzanne Ashworth. This is the one that I have. There's several different books out there. I like it a lot. I have not read any of the other books. This is just the one that I have. And it does a really good job of showing you and talking you through everything. So, and it covers a lot of different, I'll show you the front. A lot of different things. I think it covers most anything that you're going to grow in your garden. It'll cover how to save the seed from it. And I think having different books and your own library at your home is very important, because you cannot remember everything, and this helps you remember things if you want to make sure that you do it correctly. Because if you're going to spend your energy, your effort, you want to make sure that you do it right. And I have talked in the past on some of my other videos about having a homestead library. I do recommend that you have topic-specific books. Not to say there's anything wrong with the all-in-one books, but they talk a little bit about a lot. They don't really get in depth, and if you want to get in depth on a certain subject, you're going to want a subject-specific book, and you want to find a book that is going to speak to that, whatever it is you're wanting to remember, or whatever it is you're wanting to learn. So, it says I'm not streaming very well. Are you guys still seeing and hearing me okay? Yes, We Tree Bonsai. It is an awesome book. I really like it. You guys let me know if I'm not buffering too much. I hope I'm not. Anyway. Yes, hard copies are very important as well, Rain. Don't just have them on your computer. Hard copies are very, very important, especially if it ever comes to a time when we don't have the internet or something like that. You're going to want to have a hard copy in front of you for reference. So, buffering just a little. Okay. Okay. So, looks like the general consensus is it's not buffering too badly. All right. Okay, so some other things I wanted to kind of touch base on today. Last week I did talk about calving, so I wanted to touch base a little bit on some of the problems that you can have when calving, and that is prolapsing, because that is something that right now is very present in my life and causing me sleepless nights. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that right now. Now, as far as reproductive prolapses in cows, there are two types of prolapsing. There is a vaginal prolapse and there is a uterine prolapse. Now, the vaginal prolapse is just the small section, usually up to the cervix, that will prolapse out. A uterine prolapse is where the uterus will come all the way out. And that is, both types you are going to need to have fixed and seen by a vet. The vaginal prolapse is not as life-threatening as the uterine prolapse, but the uterine prolapse is very life-threatening. You want to get it taken care of as soon as possible. There are so many major blood vessels in the uterus, and if one of them ruptures, your cow will bleed out in just minutes. So you want to make sure you get the vet out there as soon as you can. And my vet's really good about getting out. She was out here very quickly and was able to get her sewn back up. And so now I am every 2 hours on cow check. So, yay. So usually a vaginal prolapse is going to happen before calving, because they just run out of room out there, and there's so much pressure. There's a lot of pressure in there, and that's usually what will cause a vaginal prolapse. And that is what Miss Louise had, was a vaginal prolapse. She also had a rectal prolapse, and that is also very common as well. It's not as life-threatening, but it is something that you do want to get treated quickly. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of getting distracted here real quick. Hang on. Anyway, so I must have missed part of that conversation that you guys are having. Back on topic here. Let's see here. So the vaginal usually is before calving, and usually a uterine prolapse is going to be after the cow has calved. I did touch on it a little bit last time. If you were having to pull the calf, you don't want to pull too fast. You only want to pull when the cow is contracting, because you can cause a vacuum and cause the uterus to come out with the calf, cause it to detach. And that is very gruesome and very bloody and very scary when you have a uterine prolapse. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture of Miss Louise. Oh, there's Miss Gertrude. This is what I found, and sorry I don't have a better picture for you guys, but she had a vaginal and a rectal prolapse. The rectal prolapse, when she stood up, it did fix itself. It did go back in after a little while. but the vaginal prolapse, the vet had to get it fixed. She did go ahead and examine the calf. The calf is alive. The calf is in the position that it should be in. So I pray for a quick delivery of this calf. And then after she has her calf, the vet will come back out and stitch her back up so that it can heal and everything will heal back into the proper place. So I do still have to have the vet come out. Does it mean she has more of a chance for the uterine prolapse? Normally, I would say probably not. It just depends on delivery. It's kind of hard to say, Tina, really it is, because I've seen some that just have the vaginal prolapse and don't do the uterine prolapse. I pray that it does not happen. That's one thing that you do not want to happen. But usually if they are going to have a vaginal prolapse, it will happen again. It's more prevalent in the older cows. She is only 6 years old, so she's not that old of a cow. She will have to be culled, unfortunately, because it will happen again. I don't want to do it, but then again, if you're running a homestead or a farm, sometimes you have to put your wallet before your heart, and unfortunately that does happen quite a bit. So anyway, there you have it. There's what she looked like. Oh, thank you, Wee Tree Bonsai, for the compliment about the pictures. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to show you. She got the vet got her all fixed up, and so as you can see here, she has, you can see the strings kind of hanging down there, and she's sewn her up where this is all loose skin. There's nothing that's on the inside that should be outside at this point, but she has lost her mucus plug. That's all that dried, goopy, yucky looking stuff you see. That's from her mucus plug. But anyway, you can see kind of the string dangling there. And then what I have to do when she starts into labor, to the point where she is in active labor, you know, trying to push the calf out, I have to go and I have to untie that string, or I have to cut the string and take it out. This particular one, usually they tie it to where you can just pull the string, but this particular one I asked her to double knot it because our cows are nosy and they would probably untie it for her. So all I have to do, she's a real gentle cow, I can come up right behind her and I'll just cut the string. She can have her calf. I will inform the vet that she is calving, and then she'll come out sometime after she's calved and then sew her back up so that everything can heal in the proper place, and she can go on and raise her calf, and then we'll probably go ahead and sell her after a little while, after everything is all fixed and whatnot. So we may just go ahead and let her raise her calf and then not let her get rebred, and then take her over to the sale barn and say, hey, she needs to be a weigh-up cow. She prolapsed last spring. She needs to be a weigh-up cow. And what that means is a weigh-up cow is a cow that is no longer good for breeding. They go straight to the slaughterhouse and right into the food system. So that is what a weigh-up cow is. Otherwise, a cow that is sent to the sale barn that is still in good working order and is able to have more calves, they are sold as breeders, and you can purchase them that way. So anyway, I will always leave instructions, regardless of whatever we choose to do. I'll always leave instructions for them to let people know that if we do sell her as a cow-calf pair, that she did prolapse, and you are going to want to watch her closely. So now, if you do have a cow that does this, it is more likely that her heifers will do the same thing. So you probably do not want to keep any heifers out of a cow that does this, or watch them very closely. It's one of those deals where it is kind of a hereditary thing. So now, yes, you can take on the responsibility of a cow like this. It is very risky to do so. Some of the pitfalls that you will have for this, they're going to have lower fertility. They're getting rebred is a little bit more challenging for them. And it is best to cull them if this does happen. So it's a lot like when Thor had his accident. Yes, he could have been rehabilitated, but fertility would have been extremely diminished. So let's see here. I'm going to read the comments here real quick, guys. James Herriot is a must-read. Very funny, very educational, very wholesome, and very child-friendly for all ages. Were you talking about a book, Grizz? Or if you were, what book are you talking about? I didn't catch it. Let's see here. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so another thing I wanted to touch on, because it's kind of in the same area here of what we're talking about, is gestation rates for different species that you might have on your homestead. And these are just estimates of, kind of gives you a ballpark when you know they can start having. Now, in the case of cattle, when you have a heifer, she can go anywhere from 2 weeks early to 2 weeks late. So you've got a whole month kind of swing and play there when you have heifers. And, some species are not like that. Some of them, like pigs, it's 114 days. You have little piglets. They usually will not stray very far from that, regardless of whether you have a gilt or a sow. Yeah, so they usually will not stray very far from that. Let's get that picture off. In case some of you missed it, here's the picture I had on at the very beginning of the show. There's my chickens. That's actually the background, I think, of my YouTube channel. This is the whole picture here that I took. But anyway. So for cows, usually most people go off of a 283-day system. They mark down, if you see the cow get bred, you mark it down, you count 283 days. And you mark that day on the calendar, and that's the day that she should, in theory, calve. So, oh, okay. I'll write that down real quick, because I want to check that out. Thanks for... Oh, well, we were talking, and I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just going to call you A. We were talking about prolapses. I have had a cow this week that she had a vaginal prolapse, and that the picture you just seen of her is where the vet has come out and fixed her up and gotten everything back in place. You did come in on a very bad picture. That's why. I'm sorry. That's why I kind of switched it over to the chicken picture, because I seen that you had just joined in, and I was thinking, oh man, she's probably like, oh Lord, what am I seeing now? Yeah, when you kind of come into my I don't really Pictures like that are normal to me, and sometimes I forget that some people, it may make some people uncomfortable seeing things like that. So I'm not as, I guess I should be more sensitive to some of the pictures that some people see. But anyway, so yeah. Okay, cows, like I said, 183 days is their gestation. Pigs, 114 days. Goats are going to be around 150 days from the time they're bred to the time they kid. Sheep are about 145 days, so they're right in there with the goats. So that's not too far off for them. Let's see here, and rabbits are 31 days. Rabbits are most rabbits will hit that 31-day dead on. Very few rabbits will miss that 31-day window. First timers sometimes can go a couple of days over, but they usually do not. Sheep, they can go a little over, and goats usually like to try and hold it in. Oh, goats they like to try and play the waiting game with ya. It's no fun. So, it is real life, Wee Tree Bonsai, that's right. Okay. Oh, one other thing I was going to talk to you guys about. I had a visitor to my farm, somebody that's never been around a farm setting before, and it never occurred to me to kind of tell them that okay, so here's the thing, we were going to see the goats, and we entered the goat pen, and they didn't close the gate. And it never occurred to me, and because it's been a while since I've had people that are just complete newbies to the whole homesteading thing, it never occurred to me to tell them you shut the gate when you walk through it. The last person shuts the gate. Well, one little thing I'd like to impart upon you guys if you've never been on a farm before, the number one rule on any farm, doesn't matter what farm it is, leave the gate as you found it. As you found it, and that's very important, as you found it. Because the gate is either shut or open for a reason. And if you mess with the gate, you will have a very ticked off farmer. I was right there, so I kind of instructed her, okay, whenever you go through a gate, any gate, you shut it, or if it's open, you leave it open. That's number one rule. Any farm you visit, number one rule. Number one rule. Yeah, shut the gate. Oh, thank you. Is there a special way to pronounce your name? Is it Maria? How do you pronounce your name? Because I don't like butchering people's names, but I do that frequently, and it's really, I don't like doing it. So, if there's a special way to pronounce it, please let me know, because I don't want to offend anybody. Grizz, that is mean. I always tell city slickers about the gates, never tell them about the electric fences. That's one of the very first things I tell people when they come. Don't touch any wire you see hanging anywhere. It is electrified. That is the very first thing I do tell people. I always make sure to tell people that. That's mean. Our fencer is a 30-mile fencer, so it is hot. And if somebody happened to have a pacemaker and they touch that fence, it's not good. Not going to be a good day for them. So, and little kids, it can hurt them. It can burn them. So, Mariah. Okay, Mariah. Thank you. All right. Now, hopefully I can remember that if you stop in again. All right. So, one other thing that I wanted to touch on was this next spring I've been putting together, it's been a couple years since I've had this idea, and I've been wanting to put together a curriculum for an educational classes here on my homestead for children at first. I'm going to start small and get kind of the groove of it first, for local children around here. And I've been wanting to do this kind of educational thing, and I've been working on it here lately, trying to get something together. And I've been realizing it's a lot harder than I thought. There's a lot that is involved getting things, information put together that's going to engage the kids, one. And I was going to break it down into age groups, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, and then 10 to 12, to begin with, and have it age appropriate where, if I'm trying to explain how pollination works, if I'm teaching something extremely basic to a 10-year-old, they're going to be like, what? Why? This is kind of below me. So, I was going to see what you guys, if there's any ideas that you guys thought of something that would be interesting to put into a curriculum for kids. And I do have several different ideas that I have written down. And I've already started making pages and things like that on my computer to have printouts and have an actual binder that they can look at. I'm starting to collect the materials needed so that they can have their own little mini garden, and they can grow things like radishes and lettuce and things like that, and then have it be a twice a week thing for however many weeks, and things like that. So I have a few games that I've put together to kind of keep it entertaining, but they're garden themed games. Like a garden scavenger hunt. Let's see. Like a garden. Okay, you guys know what Candyland is. Like, I've come up with a garden land board game. I think would be fun for them to play. Garden bingo and a garden tic-tac-toe. Which the garden tic-tac-toe would just be, different things. Yeah, and I was going to try and make it, Jesse, I was going to try and make it to where the parents have to be involved as well. And they can engage with their kids, as when they're there, and not just drop the kid off and leave them there. So I was going to try and make it kind of like that. So, don't pee on the electric fence, Grizz. Yeah, that would hurt. Oh. Yes, I am going to do that Wee Tree Bonsai. I'll copyright it before I post any of it, so. Frisbee. Grizz talking about that. The Frisbee throwing contest with dried cow patties. When we were younger, I was kind of ornery to my little sisters. I was the oldest. And so I could tell the difference between a dry cow patty and one that was only dry on the top. And so I convinced my sister that I was like, look, this is fun. stomping on cow patties. I was like, look, this is fun. Here, there's one right over there. Why don't you stomp on that one? And I knew that it was still juicy in the middle, and they finally wised up to it. And yeah, I was so ornery. They would always get so mad at me whenever it was wet. I was like, well, mine was dry. Why isn't, I don't know, maybe you should pay attention better. That collab with the Girl and Boy Scouts, I could do that, Tina. I'm going to try and do it through the local extension office through the 4-H program, because I think that would maybe be a little bit easier. My extension agent already knows my phone number, so I haven't brought the idea up to her yet, but I am gonna, even if she says no, we're not, I don't want to do that, I will probably still go ahead and offer them. There are a lot of daycare centers in the town that's closest to me. There's a lot of rural kids around here that would probably enjoy it, and they can have gardens of their own at their house. So, and I would be teaching them the way that I do it, the companion planting and the natural way of doing things. I don't use any pesticides whatsoever. I just use bugs as my pesticide, attracting, the good bugs to take care of your bad bug situation, and just different things like that. So since I moved here, I have not used any pesticides or anything like that. So I deal with it as I can. So for some crafts for the kids that they can make, I've come up with some painting terracotta pots for planters. They can make something really interesting out of that. I salvaged a bunch of terracotta pots. I have a ton of them, so I could use those. Making little garden signs for their little gardens out of just different things. I've seen several different ways of doing that that is kid friendly. I think the easiest way is to just get some of those little plastic stir spoons that you can get at the dollar store. They're really cheap, and then just let the kid paint them and then write on them what they are. I did that to my brother, and he was barefooted. Oh, Grizz. Yeah. Okay, so Grizz, you're making me think Henri today. We were picking tomatoes in the garden one day. And this was one of our chores that we had to get done that day. And so my sister was whining about having to go in and out of the tomatoes. The vines were making her itchy. So I was like, okay, I'll just toss them to you. So we just did the little toss up in the air, and she'd catch it. And probably shouldn't have been doing that with the tomatoes, but it was great fun. So I found one that was nice and pretty on the top, but the bottom was rotten. I got in trouble for this, though. So I toss it nice and gentle, and she catches it, and it's all a rotten tomato all over her face. So I got in a little bit of trouble for that. Needless to say, she didn't help me pick tomatoes anymore. She went in and got them herself. Yes, they are poop. Cow patties are poop. Buffalo chips. They used to use buffalo chips as fuel for their fires way back when. Yes, busted terracotta pots as frog homes. Yes. And that was next on my list. Toad House, mini insect hotel, and then have them start their own garden journal so that they can track their progress. So yes, I was rather ornery to my sisters sometimes. Well, they were annoying. Little sisters were annoying, and anything they ever did wrong, I should have been watching them closer, So for some of the educational things, I thought that I would bring in the butterfly life cycle, like a good bug, bad bug discussion. Have them do their own little, like I said, mini garden here. Pollinators, other garden helpers like frogs, good lord, frogs, toads, birds, different things like that. And this isn't everything that I've got on my list, but these are some of the ideas that I've come up with and I'm already working on. So anyway, and then some experiments. I thought we would do some experiments, some other things, some things that I've come up with. You guys have seen those little root viewing gardens where you just have kind of plexiglass on one side and you can see the carrot or the onion or whatever it may be, a potato or something like that. Also, starting sweet potato slips. That's always kind of fun. My kids enjoyed doing that when they were younger, starting the sweet potato slips. And then maybe raising some monarch butterflies. That is one thing I have as a goal of mine next year, is to get a monarch butterfly habitat set up. Oh, thank you, Wee Tree Bonsai. Always appreciated. And the monarch butterflies kind of need our help, so I was going to get a monarch butterfly habitat set up. So I have several different, I think the main focuses I'm going to try to do in my garden next year is set up an insect hotel and also a monarch butterfly or a butterfly habitat. So anyway, and then sprouting beans. That's always kind of fun for kids to watch beans sprout. So anyway, those are a few of the ideas that I have as far as getting, I have more, I just don't have them on that right now. They're in a separate, I always keep one of these handy, and I jot notes in them, and then I'll put them in my permanent binders that I have for basically how I run my life. I have, okay, I'll show you this one real quick here. All my binders are labeled. This one's for the house, and it's got the dividers in it, and my life is in here. This one is the main one that I use a lot. It kind of keeps my daily life together and functioning properly. And I can do a video on these if you guys want. I would think they would be super duper boring, but you know, if somebody wanted to, they could. It's just my cleaning schedules, how I keep my attempt to keep my house clean. Attempt. I don't always succeed on that one. And then I break it down into days, and then I have a daily chore list and a monthly thing that I get done. So, and each day I just do different things. So then I have my financials, my meal plan, my 4-H holidays, addresses, just different things like that is all in here. Okay, I will do one then, if you guys want. I have one for house. I have one specifically for the farm. I have one for food. I'm kind of reading them as I'm going along here. I have cow records, bunny records, and then I have some that are not where they belong. The one for food has got all of my recipes and things in it. What else do I have? I have one specifically for 4-H. And then I don't homeschool my children, but I do summer school them. So I have different binders set up for English, science, math, history, just different things like that. And then I have a what's called a farm management binder that I it's got plans for what I want to do in the future, and it's also got just lists of different grasses, just different ways to kind of keep my farm and soils happy, information. It's got a lot of information in it. And I also have another binder that is for my cattle, and it's up there too. And it's literally, it's one of those, I think it's a 4-inch binder, and it's pretty full. So I keep a lot of that information in there. So anyway, so it is now noon. Anybody have any questions, or if you have any, even if you're watching the preview, or not the preview, but good grief, after this is live, in the comments, if you have anything, suggestions as far as, my hair's going crazy, suggestions as far as for some of my classes that I'm wanting to teach next year, please put them down below. That's always helpful. And yes, I will go ahead and do a binder video. I hope it's not too excessively boring. Grizz, you're so ornery. Thought about setting up a butterfly habitat, but it takes too many to make a meal. Ugh. Bugs. I can imagine eating bugs. I know a lot of people in different countries eat bugs, but it would be a texture thing for me, I think. Too funny. Alright, guys. Any questions regarding anything we talked about today, or anything in general? Now's the chance to ask them. Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you, Tina. You're so nice. Thank you so much. Homestead Network. Tonight, the shows that are going on, and this is all Eastern Standard Time. From 8 to 9 o'clock, there is Freedom Acres. She will be having her show. And from 9 to 10 o'clock, there is the Big Bear Homestead, and Robin will be having her Essential Oils class. I know I will be tuning into those. And in between shows, I'll probably be doing Cow Check. Simply because, yeah. And the only thing that would probably prevent me from watching is she actually has her calf. So, and I'm kind of hoping she has her calf in the mornings, because the vet would like me a lot better if I gave her a call in the morning instead of at night. So anyway, yes, and if you want to check out the Homestead Network, please do so. It's thehomesteadnetwork.com. They have a list of all of the show times for every single day. Please go check that out if you haven't already. And I don't see any more. Oh yes, I will. I'll film it. I will do a video on it. Here lately, it's just been crazy busy, and I've just not been able to do a lot of videos. So, anyway, all right, you guys have a good day, and I will see you next week. Bye.